My dinner choices have definitely shifted since summer has arrived. Something about just being outside more and the weather getting hot makes me crave fresh and colder foods in the evenings. And so I've been pulling out some recipes that I haven't made in a while. My week of meals usually starts on a random evening. It's usually a Sunday or a Monday night when I've kind of run out of what I bought from last week's meal planning. And I just sit down. Sometimes I can have a hard time getting started on the meals for the week. And I actually have two notes in my phone, one with winter meal ideas and one with summer meal ideas. And sometimes it's helpful just to remind myself of those, maybe pulling out something I haven't made in a while. And then this summer, I have specifically made note of meals I can make without turning on our oven, which I love the look of it, but it does need to be re-insulated. And so it gives off a lot of heat in the summer. And another thing that's been challenging is finding meals that are easy to take on the go. So we moved to Utah for our church, and we don't have a building to meet in outside of our Sunday morning meeting. So we spend a lot of the summer meeting up at parks for dinner several times a week, and I've been trying to think of things that can travel well for that. Monday, I did my big Walmart pickup order and a Costco run for the things that we would need for meals, plus the daily basics. And sometimes I'm good about remembering and writing down dinner ingredients, but I have a hard time keeping track of the basics that we use on a daily basis. So I also pulled out 3 packages of frozen meat that I wanted to start thawing for meals that I had planned for this week, because it can take a while for them to thaw in the fridge. My kitchen was kind of a wreck from making muffins for breakfast, and then we ran out the door to take my girls to a play date with some friends at the park. And Mondays are Josh's day off, and so he took our toddler to the grocery store for me and then put everything away. And my teen girls had made themselves lunch while I was out, and then I made grilled cheese sandwiches for the girls who went to the park, and I warmed up some leftovers for me and Josh. So the kitchen was a little bit crazy, and the first step to dinner was getting all of that cleaned up. So Monday evening, I plan to make a white barbecue chicken on our Blackstone. And first, I slice the chicken breasts in half because they cook better, I found, on the flat top grill that way. And then I brined them for about half an hour in some salted water while I prepped the other stuff. Next, I got some sweet potatoes washed and sliced, and this is my favorite way to bake them because it goes faster than a whole baked sweet potato, and then the bottom gets kind of caramelized and blackened while it's baking. The white barbecue sauce recipe uses mayo, vinegar, horseradish, coarse mustard, garlic, salt, and pepper. And I personally love to use my scale for measuring ingredients to get as few measuring cups dirty as possible, especially wet ingredients. So I poured off the brine water and mixed a bit of this sauce in with the chicken. And since I already had the oven on for the sweet potatoes, which only 3 of us like, I thought I'd also make some cornbread muffins to go with it. Another way that I like to prepare grilled chicken is with a rub, and I discovered this recipe one time when I hadn't had time to marinate any of the chicken I'd thawed for dinner to grill. And so my girls pretty much love anything with cumin and paprika in it. So this rub is always a hit when I don't have the meat marinated. And I went ahead and prepped that for a night when I might need it. Last, I got our sides ready, so I decided to make the spinach salad with a cilantro lime vinaigrette that I've shared in a previous video. The dressing is so quick to pull together, and I just used whatever I had on hand for the other parts of it: fresh corn, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, and avocado. I also sliced up a cantaloupe and some cucumbers for the girls. Later on this week, I am grilling chicken again and some pork tenderloins on another night. So I made a big batch of this marinade, and I used half of it for the chicken, and then I saved half of it for the pork. And this is a recipe from my best friend growing up's family. So we've always called it Sherrer marinade. And I've seen similar recipes floating around which use olive oil, and then soy sauce is the salt part of the marinade, and the lemon juice is the acid. And so I usually use seasoning salt, but discovered I'd run out, and I pretty much only use dry mustard for this recipe. But I want to show off my huge metal tin of it, because when it's done, it is going to make some really cute decor on a bookshelf. I plan to repeat the spinach salad again one evening, and then I also got the ingredients to do a wedge salad on 2 of the nights. For sides, I got some naan bread to serve with the grilled chicken and salad, and we are going to take that to the park one evening. And then with the grilled pork tenderloin, I'm making a recipe I found on Instagram for these crispy smashed dill potatoes. I made them last week, and Josh and I loved them, and it's definitely not something my girls would eat at this point, but I have been trying to make some things that sound good to me and Josh too, and just be okay if not everyone loves it. And my little girls are not big potato or rice people, which is heartbreaking because I love those things, but they do like pasta, mac and cheese, and different breads with meals. So I typically pick one of those things that will go well with whatever protein and veggie I'm making, and then I know that they can get full on that. Friday evening was rainy and cold, and I'm not sure if I can explain how unusual a night like that is for this desert that we live in, but it was so cozy and perfect for our normal pizza night. So Josh and I started making homemade pizza dough a few years ago, and it's an easy meal that he can totally make on his own, which is so nice on Fridays because I've usually finished a week of homeschooling and a week of cooking. And so for me to be able to take a night off feels really great, but also know that we're not spending too much on takeout pizza. So our girls had started a movie before dinner that we would then finish after dinner, but our toddler was trying to be a helper and comedian in the kitchen with us. So we use half-baked harvest pizza crust recipe, and we triple it to make 3 pizzas for our family. And this week we used some pulled pork that I had frozen to make a barbecue pizza, plus half a meat lover's pizza, and then 1.5 cheese pizzas. So this kind of just scratches the surface of what happens in our kitchen throughout the week. But I just wanted to share some of what we are eating because I love getting inspiration from other kitchens. And so I hope that we can be that for you. Happy summer.